Another stupid bad idea book, Titan Mouse of Might.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never heard of it before.
All right. Facebook is really strict on how long you can wait. You have to start this within 5 minutes of your start time. So,
how are we doing?
All right. Howdy,
17 seconds in.
17 seconds in.
19, 20, 21.
This is going to be the show.
Oh, hi, everyone.
Welcome
to Countdown to Final Crisis. Or Count Up to Final, I guess, whatever.
So everything's late. Nobody dies. Episode 34.
Oh, even I'm 23 seconds late.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just enjoying a nice Dr. Pepper. Yes, that's right. Dr. Pepper, the one that quenches your thirst and makes you numb and all sorts of shaky. We're looking for sponsors. Coca-Cola.
I don't think Dr. Pepper's Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's done locally by Coke, but I think it's...
Yeah, Dr. Pepper, caffeine content. 7-Up. Yeah, it is. Huh?
That's what we need. Get yourself a soda, call it caffeine content.
Oh, that's good.
And just
diet caffeine content.
Double Jolt.
God, remember Jolt?
I do remember Jolt.
Just like cocaine in a tiny little piece of aluminum.
I tried. They did Coca-Cola. It was like coffee made with Coke instead of water.
Yeah, that tasted awful.
It was god awful.
That was terrible, man. I was like, Coca-Cola and coffee. I should try one. And then I'm like, Coca-Cola and coffee. That's the worst idea in the history of mankind. So, and I lived through 2020. Okay.
Yeah. So aggressively relaxing wants to know if that's just a small Coke or if you have really big, or small Dr. Pepper, or if you have really big hands.
Yep. yeah. That's a 2 liter. Hi, Scott.
Hey,
What's
Scott.
up?
So this week, with the DC announcements, I was going to say L.A. Guns, but that's not him.
L.A. Guns? They're doing all the music for the James Gunn movies.
With the James Gunn announcement, I thought we would kind of talk about comic books and the movies and TV.
Yeah, they're still doing those.
They are still doing those. They are still doing.
Yeah,
and I think they're doing a pretty good job.
I think they are. I mean, they've got a lot coming out, but it seems like they've dialed it back just a little bit.
Right.
So we're not all just running around screaming and, oh my God, how much, there's too much.
Well, I think after the Snyder Cut, they kind of realized, not just DC, but Marvel as well, realized that there's a lot of fatigue from superhero movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot. There really is. There's so much. I mean, my God, and there's just so much content coming out with them, and you've got 10 different TV series. You've got 5 different movies. You've got, 2 or 3 different cartoon movies, and you got a couple of cartoon series, and it's just like, oh my God, there's so much. Nobody can watch all of it.
And I've really liked, especially the Disney Plus stuff. For me, the Marvel movies kind of died off, the movies themselves. Mm-hmm. I really liked Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
I thought that is my favorite MCU movie, is Multiverse.
It is in my top 3. I love that so much.
But I was not a huge fan of the Infinity Saga, like the 2 movie ending of that.
Anyway, move along.
So, yeah, it was okay.
It was the best thing that was.
It had great moments.
I thought it was awesome. It was better than the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie that took 7 movies or however many that was.
Yeah, I've definitely fallen off Pirates.
Yeah. I have too in my life. I've fallen off a couple of Pirates in my lifetime.
What you do on a Saturday night is your business. I'm out falling off of Pirates.
It's Sunday, so I'm like, holy. Anyway, that's what if we ever do like an ancillary podcast, just this dirty that we can't broadcast. We call it falling off Pirates.
There you go.
No, I'm looking forward to a lot of the James Gunn stuff.
Really?
I guess looking forward to it is not the right way to put it. I'm very curious.
Okay. I can
you know,
see that.
and I'm looking forward to finding out if I like it. How's that?
Right.
Okay. You know, I guess my big situation right now, you know, is how is he going to clean this up? And I think a great step toward that is the Elseworlds. You know, I think that's a really good idea, and because you know you've got like that's part of the mess with the DC cinematic universe. I think you know is it's just like oh okay well we've got Ben Affleck that's Batman, and then we have Sparkle Pattins. What's his whatever
Rob
his name
Pattinson.
is? Rob Pattinson.
Did you see that movie?
Is he not the? Is he? Not, I thought he was a singer. Just
He is a
forget
really good
about
singer.
it.
Like I like his music too.
It's very, very. No, I saw the movie and I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
So you got Robert Pattinson, you've got Ben Affleck, you've got Michael Keaton coming back. Yes, I am Batman. Hello, I am Batman.
So
you know,
Batman.
you got him all over the place, man, and none of them are really connecting. You know, you've got Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. That's the only Joker I can think of.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, you got all this stuff. You're going to have a different Harley now and another Harley. And it's like, you've got to do something because nobody knows what is happening.
Right. There's no cohesion whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Bob, Bullseye Bob
t-shirt.
is, this is the Everything Comics.
He's talking about Judas Priest.
I know Bob, but I'm pretty sure that he's not talking about Judas Priest.
I think
a little bit of Judas Priest in the day. I like to think the Batman. Oh, I keep forgetting I can do this.
Oh, yeah.
I like to think that the Batman movie is a Green Lantern and Halle Berry Catwoman universe.
I don't recognize those words. What? Huh? Oh, the Batman movie, the Batman and Robin movie, and Batman Forever. Yeah, that must be what they.
I like to think the Batman movie is in the Green Lantern and Halle Berry universe. I could see that.
That would, I mean, he would just
so
kill
Rob
all of them.
Pattinson's Batman in the same universe as Halle Berry's Catwoman, which I liked. I liked Electric too, and I like Daredevil. I like all superhero movies.
Who are you?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
No.
But yeah,
I really liked
I really liked the Green Lantern movie. I thought that was good. But I don't get caught into the tropes, the people being upset about the CGI or.
I mean, I don't really care about that. I just thought they were terribly plotted.
They weren't the greatest, but if you look at what came before then, I mean, we got Captain America in a motorcycle helmet running down the Venice Beach boardwalk.
Yeah, this stuff was after the Marvel stuff raised the bar quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
But that's what they were going to give. I mean, the Marvel stuff didn't really start to hit until, really till Spider-Man. The Fantastic Four stuff was okay. I mean, it was definitely an improvement over what came before.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the. I don't know. I wish they would have brought Michelle Pfeiffer back as Catwoman for that.
Yeah,
that would have been great, and then done an actual Catwoman story.
I think they could have done a better job with. I mean, they had Halle Berry. I mean, who between Michelle Pfeiffer and Halle Berry's a much better actress, and probably could have.
Have you seen her in anything?
Halle Berry?
Anything?
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
Anything?
Monsters Ball. It's a brilliant movie.
Yeah, you say it was a brilliant movie, but her?
Yeah, I think she's great.
Huh.
And I think that she could have added a lot more depth to the character with just a poorly written script.
I mean, you know, I think she's a very average actor. Yeah. Honestly. You know, yeah, I don't know. Okay. But we all need love.
We are.
Oh my God! Now I don't even know what I was going to say now. But,
speaking of switching up actors, oh wow!
Oh yeah, you don't want that. No, you don't want that.
So Scott says, so sad Margot Robbie's not going to be returning as Harley. And I love her as Harley. I like Birds of Prey.
Loved Birds of Prey. I really like that.
I like that take on Harley. I think
I'm not sure I like that take on Harley, but I like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I like her take when she was a producer, when she had some creative control. and they didn't CGI her booties, her little booty shorts.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't feel like she had any control with that first movie.
Right.
With Suicide Squad. But I thought she was like awesome and everything since that. I didn't like what they did with her in that movie. I didn't like what they really did with anybody in that movie, honestly. But Suicide Squad.
Right.
The Suicide Squad was great. Loved that.
Yeah, I thought that was a great take. And that's what has me concerned about the new direction of DC in the movies. James Gunn obviously knows how to make a fun superhero movie.
Yeah.
But this isn't Marvel. This is DC. Like, Batman's not a fun character. You don't make a fun Batman movie
unless it's the Justice League International stuff from the 80s. And it's, I mean, geez, don't tell that to Grant Morrison. Batman's not fun. No, I think Have a comic slick. Hi there. Hi, boys. Hi. Yeah, I mean that Justice League International, the 80s Justice League stuff that Giffen and DeMatteis did, the best. Right. So great and so much fun. That was fun, Batman. Like, that was a blast, man.
But it wasn't.
But he was grumpy.
It wasn't campy.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
But that proves that you can do comedy with Batman.
Right.
But I mean, I feel like, I feel like if they do that, if they do the Batman with Robert Pattinson, then they can do their Dark Batman. They can keep that going.
Right.
And I'm totally good with that. That can go forever.
It makes no sense to me to take that Batman out of canon.
Well, I mean,
I don't get why they would.
I don't know, and because it could go either way, and they're probably taking it out of canon because it is so dark and so serious,
But does that mean now what we're going to see from DC in film is they're going to start going in a lighter direction, like they're going to Disney-fy DC now, trying to compete with the MCU?
Look, I almost hope they do. Because, and not in that way, but in a different way, because, you look at the DC stuff, okay? You've got a guy in a Green Robin Hood costume. You've got a girl in fishnet stockings that screams at people. You've got Superman who has a big S on his chest and a real red and blue bright costume. You've got Green Lantern. He's all in green and he charges a magic ring with a lantern. As much... they're fun and they're kind of corny in a lot of ways. And there's a lot of DC stuff I do like, and I'm not saying that's bad, but you look at them and they are colorful. They are campy,
I've always felt that that's kind of the dichotomy of DC, right? Is they have like the flashy, brilliant colors and bright costume characters, but the interior of that character, the character's backstory is so dark all the time.
And but you can still do that. They did that with Guardians. They're right. Kind of flashy, comedic, and all their backstories are very tragic.
True.
They made that work. I always just think that, like, if you're going to transfer DC directly to movies like you would with Marvel, like Spider-Man works somehow.
Right.
Iron Man works because it's a mech suit. Hulk somehow works. Like all these, Thor, Captain America, somehow they work. But when you transfer the DC stuff over, if it's not campy and if it's dark and overly serious, you get Zack Snyder. You get body armor and you get Kevlar and you get and you can't see what's going on and there's fight scenes every 10 minutes and people are screaming at each other. I'm sick of that with DC. I don't like it. And as much as I don't like the actor that plays Shazam, I haven't seen it, but I don't like that actor. However, I think Shazam, it's not for me. But I think they did the right thing with Shazam, and I think that's how the DC stuff should be.
Well, and that is definitely different than the direction they've gone with most DC properties.
Yeah,
because it is a lot. But even I recently got to watch Black Adam, and there's a lot more humor in that. I mean, he's going around ripping people in half, like literally tearing people in half, and then cracking a joke the next second. You know?
Yeah. No,
and it works because it's a Rock, and he can get away with that. So
well, he not anymore, but
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't personally have a whole ton of faith.
It's pronounced. No, don't put that on.
I was avoiding that one.
Oh my god! Yeah, you.
Why
you?
But yeah, I'm optimistic that he could pull it off.
Yeah,
with a little bit of help. I just don't feel that he's got the chops to pull off a universe.
I'm not sure he can pull off a universe.
Right.
That I'm not sure of. Now, I will say I really wish, I wish that Creature Commandos was live action.
Yes.
Because they could do something like Werewolf by Night, and it could be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, and again, I mean, I don't know if they would be accused of copying Marvel. They probably would.
Who cares?
Oh, well, you got a werewolf in there, you got a Frankenstein guy, and you got a blah, 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 So what? Who cares? Whatever. But I think they could do that live action. I think it's a mistake to make it animated.
I think the big mistake, and to answer Scott's question here, he says Black Adam was super disappointing. Can't put my finger on it. Why? It's because Dr. Fate dies. That's spoiler if you haven't seen it, but yeah.
Well, maybe there's a whole other multiverse where there's a lot of magic Doctor Man. And they could just bring him right back.
I hope not.
Maybe he could be a zombie.
I hope that DC's smart enough to steer away from the multiverse. They're not, but my hope is that they are.
No, they're. I mean, they're already.
They created the multiverse. It is what it is.
Yeah, they're. Hey, Jesse. Yeah, they're. I don't know. They've kind of got that thing that I think made early Marvel and DC movies a little disappointing, and that is they've got a cool character, they got a villain, whatever, they kill him off. That's it. That's the end.
Yeah.
Joker, Batman '89, super cool movie. Joker, Jack Nicholson, great. Then he's dead. Oh, spoiler if nobody's seen that. Iron Man, they kill off the dude. You know what I mean? Ant-Man, they kill off Yellow Jacket. It's just like, it just keeps going, and they're like, oh, okay, well, these are our first movies, and we might not be able to afford, these actors again if it doesn't do so well, so we're just going to kill them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But another real concerning thing for me with the DC, the direction that they're going now, is everything is a James Gunn project. Mm-hmm. He's either writing it or directing it,
or producing,
or it's a follow-up to something that he's done previously. Mm-hmm. And so it's all tied in there to one person. So,
and I don't know if he's the correct one, but at least they're going for something cohesive, and at least they're trying to explain the mess that they've gotten themselves into.
Right.
I mean, my God, man, you got what? 3 different versions of Flash. You got always different versions of all these characters on different platforms, on TV, movies, whatever. And it just gets confusing. Nobody knows what it is anymore.
Right.
It's so scattered.
And I'm not opposed to doing... A lot of people are upset because he's released Henry Cavill at this point. Gal Gadot's not coming back. So we've lost 2, and then Ben Affleck. So we've really lost the entire DC Trinity.
Good.
So, and a lot of people are upset about that.
No, I mean,
I don't mind that as much as if they do not give us something, like if they give us crap in return. If we traded Henry Cavill for, a pile of crap.
Now, I will say Henry Cavill was a great Superman. He's never been in a good DC movie.
Right.
Ben Affleck, I think, is kind of boring as Batman. I don't like him really that much. He's really he's bland as hell when he's Bruce Wayne. His Batman is just you make a joke. I don't like that. And Gal Gadot, let's face it, has been in one good DC movie. That was the first Wonder Woman. So they're not in good movies, and maybe that's not their fault, but I'd rather see somebody that is a good actor that can embody that be in a good movie than just keep bringing them back and hoping they get something that works.
Right. And not rely on cheap tricks in order to pull these movies off either.
Yeah.
I don't want, if you're going to do a Superman movie, then cast Superman as we know Superman. Mm-hmm. Don't give us your, Earth 463 version of whatever Superman you want to do.
Yeah, he has to have a couple clones.
Right.
He has to have a mullet.
Yeah.
He's got.
If you want to give us, and DC's wide open. I mean, Creature Commandos is a great example, or not Creature Commandos. What's the other live action thing that they're doing? The Replacements. The Union?
Authority?
The Authority, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that could be really good.
So I know nothing about these characters. Nothing. Yeah. I've never heard of them. I've never heard of the Authority. I know nothing about it.
Oh, they're actually they're a Wildstorm.
Books.
They're a Wildstorm book.
Yeah, I'd never read any of that stuff.
Hold the fort for a sec. Just keep talking. That's good. That's okay, thanks.
So yeah, I've never don't know anything about the Authority. It looks interesting to me. And I like the fact that they're taking, much like Gunn did with Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody knew who that Guardians team was.
Well, yeah. And I think, I don't know. The Authority was Image's Justice League.
Right.
And then Jim Lee brought Wildstorm to DC. So now it's DC's Image's Justice League. And, I mean, it's got all those, but, yeah.
And I'm a little encouraged that one's apparently being written by James Gunn, heavily influenced by Jim Lee. So we might get a really good show out of that.
Yeah, we could.
Kind of looking forward to that. And I like
that's a Warren Ellis book.
I really like the way that they're tying in. So their TV, their movie, their cartoons, and the video games are all using the same actors.
That is something that's needed to happen for a decade with those guys now.
So yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yep.
Let's see. Black Adam was eye candy, but not just substance. To the
story. Blank, blank, blank. Adam Smasher, blank, blank, blank in a blank, 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 and a blank, blank in the spoiler blank.
And Brock could not carry a whole movie. I would have to agree with that.
I would totally agree with that. That's one of the reasons I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll see it, but and I think Rock the Dwayne Johnson is kind of a, he's a silly, fun dude. He's very likable. He's not a great actor. Could be a great actor. I've seen him in a couple of things where he's really good, but then he did the Muscle Man action kind of thing and just said, "Oh, this is what I'm going to do now."
Well, and a couple of those I really liked, like Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah, but that was when he stopped trying. He was just like, he's the Rock. Yeah. He throws on a tan, a khaki shirt with a lot of pockets, puts on a pair of shorts and some hiking boots and says, "Okay, let's go to the mountain or the river or the swamp or wherever we're going this time."
Oh yeah, the Jumanji stuff is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He's not winning an Academy Award or anything.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Oh God, oh my God, my hand does look huge if you do it like that. Yeah, that is a regular sized bottle of
So yeah, I think they're headed in a good direction. I'm hopefully optimistic about some of the projects they've announced. I'm a little afraid of Swamp Thing. I don't want them to mess up Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
A lot of the criticism that I've seen about the Swamp Thing movie is people don't want, or people are saying that they're bored of seeing Swamp Thing. Which doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. They had one season, then it was canceled,
and 1.5 movies back in the 80s.
Yeah. I mean,
it was 1.5.
That's true. I mean, I don't know how you can be bored of Swamp Thing. That's kind of weird, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, and it'll be interesting to see how Marvel follows this up, because now it's their move.
Well, I think Marvel has, like, they've carefully laid out the next 4 years of projects. So we already know what the next 4 years of Marvel was before LA Guns made its announcement.
Well, and I think if Guns N' Roses knows that, that's true. But I don't. That's not set in stone. They've changed things before, and they're already changing things. You know, I mean, they were saying some of the Avengers stuff in that first Avengers movie was being rewritten almost every day, so they could tie it into other things that they discovered that they wanted to do, or they wanted to work with rights issues, or they wanted to, one character became unexpectedly popular, so they're like, oh God, man, we got to do one of those. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're gonna switch stuff up.
Well, we got 2 good sized movies coming out. On the Marvel side, we've got Quantumanium and the Marvels,
which is that show, The Who, that they did at Madison Square Garden. Quantumanium. I think so. Live show. Yeah.
And Quantumanium is supposed to set up the next 5 years of Marvel movies, and then the Marvels. I think that they initially had set that up to be a transition between Captain Marvel and Kamala Khan. I don't think that's how it's going to play out.
Khan? We were just talking about him.
People, for some reason, don't care for Brie Larson. I don't get it. I think she's fantastic in that role.
Yeah. I love that character. And I think she's good in that. I think she just seems like a somewhat unlikable person, and I think that's the problem. And that's why I think that's why Black Adam, like, people didn't hate Black Adam, because The Rock is likable.
Right.
And that's probably why I didn't like Ben Affleck as Batman, because I find him kind of unlikable.
I really,
you know what I mean? Affleck. Yeah, I mean, when you have a big star, you associate the character and the actor.
Very true.
And it's like, like Jack Nicholson. When Jack Nicholson plays something, he's playing Jack Nicholson playing a character. And you're kind of like, he's sort of a dick. Right. he's kind of a crusty old jerk, man. But that plays into his role. But if he's playing like this wonderful, sweet, good guy, it's really hard to see that.
Well, and I think that's a huge mistake on DC's part, because that's very true, especially in something as out there as a superhero movie is going to be, because these aren't indie coffee house videos, right? They're big blockbuster, and so they want these big names, and in their mind they're thinking, look at all the big names in the Marvel movies. But
they became big names.
Yeah, if you look, it was washed up actors and complete nobodies.
Yeah, like 15 years ago, Robert Downey Jr. everybody counted him out.
Yeah,
nobody knew who Chris Hemsworth was.
Right.
Chris Pratt was a chubby comedian on a TV show.
Right.
Vin Diesel was just a guy that could barely say his own name, so that was perfect casting. Chris Evans, he was in a couple of failed Fantastic Four movies. Like, who are these people?
Yeah.
They're Mark Ruffalo, a couple of indie movies here and there, a couple of bigger movies, but nothing. It wasn't a movie star.
And you can always get a big name for Superman or Batman. I mean, every actor in Hollywood wants to play Batman.
But I don't think you should, because it becomes that character, that actor. Right. And yeah, I agree with you. I think that's the problem. You see Batman, and I don't see Batman. I see Ben Affleck.
And I think that's why Rob Pattinson worked so well, because he's a real well-known actor, and he's a fantastic actor. But he's always been in these small indie films, so he hasn't had that wide exposure that you get from a blockbuster.
Yeah.
And unless you're a 14-year-old girl and you see him sparkle on a mountaintop in Washington.
Well, now after seeing Batman, every time I close my eyes, I see him sparkle on a mountaintop because he was fantastic.
It was a great movie.
No, it's a great concept. Everything Comics says it's a great concept. Thank you. We appreciate that. To tie everything together, but logistically, it's pretty hard to do that with some of your larger actors, especially when games and animation scheduling is horrible. That's a good point.
That is a good
and
point.
I think a way that could be around that a way that could be gotten around. Good thing this isn't live.
Yeah.
A way around to be the good idea would maybe when they do, when they have the video game and the animation stuff, write that beforehand. Get them in a studio, have them do 3 or 4 things on voiceover. So you'll have all that in the can and get that with everybody because, you got a bigger actor. They're not going to have time to do that all the time.
Well, and with technology the way it is, most of these people have a studio, if not in their home, in the same city that they're in. No matter where they're filming. So, that does make it easier when it comes to animation and video game voiceovers, things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the hardest thing to do there is you got these huge actors tied into contracts. It's going to be expensive. That's going to drive up the costs on those video games and cartoons and stuff.
No, it is. Hey, Beck.
Yeah.
Beck. All right, gonna do another takeover.
I think I agree with that. Marvel, if X-Men's announced for the MCU, that's going to completely dwarf anything that that the DC that's coming from the DC camp whatsoever. When they decide to put the X-Men into the MCU,
I read that and I agree.
All it's going to be talked about for years.
I agree with that. Yeah. Especially if they find a way to bring Hugh Jackman back in.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine in an X-Men type movie. I think maybe cameos in Daredevil or something like that, but not really a serious X-Men movie.
But you have to have, if he's in that, you have to have Wolverine in the X-Men, or it's kind of not the X-Men anymore,
right?
And you can't. Then if you don't, though, you're gonna fall in that DC problem when you got Hugh Jackman in this as Wolverine, and then you got somebody else as Wolverine. You're gonna fall right into that trap that DC fell on.
Right.
So yeah. I feel like it would be a good idea to bring him back for that. He's in his 50s, but God, he looks like he's 40.
Yeah.
So what, man?
Makes me sick.
I know, it's disgusting, isn't it?
It
Paul
really
Rudd.
Yeah.
I swear to God, man, he and Paul Rudd have like pictures of Keith Richards in their attic. It's kind of a Dorian Gray thing, because every time they look great, he looks terrible.
And I says, I think we will as a cameo.
Oh God, yeah,
Wolverine, yeah.
Oh man, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope. You know what? And if they could do something like that, and they could transition her into Wolverine. Although it would drive the internet absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Hey, gender swap. No, you're not. She was Wolverine. Okay. She was Wolverine for a while when he was dead. Deal with it. But yeah, that'd be really, really cool. They could just call her X-23. They could have him kind of pop up and mentor her in an X-Men movie or something like that. Just have him kind of in and out with. That'd be really cool. I would like that. I think comic fans would love that. I don't know that movie fans in general would love that, because to them it's just another, quote unquote PC move, where she's been around for 20 years now.
I don't know. They've been pretty open to. You've got your fringe that are against things like that, but I think the fandom as a whole has been really open to some of that alternate versions of these heroes coming in. Like certainly Miles Morales is a beloved character at this point.
Right.
And then with Kamala Khan, with Monica Rambeau, these are all characters that embodied those heroes at one point or another. I think that the general public has been really receptive to it.
Fairly.
But I mean, you're going to have outliers that, oh, why did they have to make Captain Marvel a black one? Well, you know, that's my Captain Marvel. So
yeah, it's like,
that's normal for me.
Bring Brie Larson back. And they bring Brie Larson. They're like, I hate her. She and then like, let's replace her. And then you bring, Kamala Khan back. It's like,
another interesting thing that goes along with all this that I think is real interesting. These are all, I put this one up here because, of course, a lot of the Silver Surfer from this era that are in this book are
really important.
They were key in inspiring the MCU.
Yeah.
You got the Infinity Gauntlet saga in there and all that. Adam Warlock's about to show up.
Mm-hmm. The Kree Skrull War.
Yeah.
Well, not first one, but there's another one.
So this era of comic books is what inspired the MCU.
Yeah.
Which, it's funny how selective we are in allowing these things to influence the comic market.
Mm-hmm.
We talk all the time about spec buying, people buying books because they hear a book's been optioned or and that drives the price and things like that. But it doesn't. It's really weird because the Infinity Gauntlet stuff was, nobody wanted it. It was dollar bin books before the MCU hit, and now they're worth thousands of dollars.
Well,
some of that stuff is your first Thanos.
Well, first Thanos,
ton of money.
The bronze and silver first appearances.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny because yesterday, first day of the sale yesterday, guess what I sold a bunch of? Weird War Tales and Authority. It's like, good.
Yeah.
Get them out. The Authority's in there from like a year. Nobody even looks at them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool. Good. That's awesome. Man.
And it's funny. We got Hive in the chat. I know one of the things that really shaped some asses there is the fact that it doesn't spill over into like indie comics and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just finished watching season 3 of The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that was a riot.
That's so fun.
But you've got The Boys, you've got Umbrella Academy and
Invincible.
Walking Dead. Invincible really didn't drive anything. It got hot for a minute.
Oh, it did. Sell the hell out of that stuff.
It's kind of settled down a bit.
Well, you know what?
But
Invincible.
So is Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, Walking Dead has, because the series is basically done. The comic is done. You know what? Actually, funny enough, do you know what the?
I do love the fact that they're doing the full color Walking Dead stuff.
Yeah, we should stop though, because we don't need either that or bring it back down to 2 covers.
2 covers,
yeah. They had like 7 covers on number 53.
Yeah,
that was stupid. No, but you know what Invincible has really driven the sales of? The new Hulk book.
Really?
Because Ryan is on it.
Huh.
Yeah, Ryan's the artist on the Hulk book. Right now he's writing it as well. But people are like, oh, is that the... Oh, yeah, it's dude from Invincible. That's awesome, man. No, I'm buying that. He draws like monsters and fights and blood and stuff. Awesome.
Right.
And yeah, he does. But that's really actually driven the sales on Hulk. I feel personally more than Donny Cates has. But so that's done that. But also it really has increased the Invincible sales for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think that Donny Cates was a good fit. I said it from the beginning, I just don't feel him as a Hulk writer. He did fantastic with Thor. I think he did a great job with Thor, Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's done some great work on some books, but the Hulk, with the exception of the one, that was Thor. When Don Blake come back, that was cool.
Don Blake's the Hulk?
No. Don Blake is now the Hulk.
Oh my God.
So we'll retcon anything.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think it's cool though. And yeah, these Walking Dead's. I wish they'd limit the cover on them, but it is cool to see them in color because I mean, you get that whole thing when it's like, oh, I don't like this. Well, so you do better. I'm gonna say right now, no, I'm not a better artist than Charlie Adler. Of course, I'm not. Nobody said he was, but you don't have to be better than somebody to critique their work,
right?
And I think Charlie Adler's art is really average in black and white. And part of the reason is everybody looks exactly the same.
Right.
And I can't tell which cover or which character is who. I thought probably a half a dozen times through Walking Dead that Rick had died. And then he came back and I was like, what? Oh, that was the other dude. That was the other guy with the beard and the, okay. Yeah. So it, I have trouble with his art in black and white, but I think his art in color is really good. And I think he knows how to tell a story. And in color, it's much better. Damn Them All is a great book, but it's almost in between black and white and color. So now all I can see is Michonne, and you know what I mean. All I can see is Michonne and Rick and Abraham, and like all these characters will look exactly the same as the Down the Mall characters. You need to have his art in color. Period. Right. I think. So I think this story flows better, and I think it's told better.
Well, it's certainly been a lot easier for me to read in color than black and white. I don't know why I have a hard time with black and white.
Did you want the board in the back?
Because you don't see color, and we all appreciate it.
That could be it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think Tony Moore's art worked better in black and white because it gave that almost kind of the Night of the Living Dead sort of feel, and it was this gray tone, black and white horror book, and it was really cool. And you could tell a difference between his characters. His characters do look different.
Right.
He's a little cartoony, but I like it. And I think that works better in.
I think there's definitely a difference between black and white and monochromatic. Mm-hmm. And I think that's and it's all about shading or whatever.
It is.
That's just for me.
Hey, I'm going to put something up.
I know something that you're so proud of.
Oh my God! I am I'm fanatical over this book. Oh my God!
You have to take one home.
Where Monsters Lie. And no, it's not no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. It's not a book about the Nixon administration. That's what we'll say. Okay. It is such a fun book. Kyle Starks. It's a gated community. Where serial killers and slashers and psychos and whatever. So, they live on their downtime. And there's a person that runs it and keeps tabs on everybody and makes sure they don't bring anybody in, make sure they don't escape to kill when they're not supposed to. So it's like if you've ever seen Halloween and thought, well, when Michael is not just in his old house watching young girls walk by and eating dogs, what's he doing? This is your answer right here. When Jason's not hanging out up at Camp Crystal Lake killing people or, whatever. When Leatherface runs out of barbecue, all this kind of stuff. It's like, where do they go? They go to this community, and this is where they all live together, and they have talk therapy sessions with each other to keep, and oh my God, it is so great. It is so good, man. And there's a guy, well, I can't say his name, but he doesn't wear a shirt. He's got a lot of tattoos and he has a stuffed koala bear on his head. I can't say his name. But it has an F word in it. It's really funny. Such a fun book. It's hilarious.
I'm going to take one of those home. I want
to check that out. This is the kind of stuff I'm liking right now. I'm reading the superhero stuff. I'm always going to read the superhero stuff. It's going to be too painful to take this crap off me. But yes,
it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Yes. No, it's me. It's me.
It's not you.
It's not you. It's me. Yeah, this is stuff that I'm really digging. That is, just I'm having so much fun with stuff like this. I'm always gonna do the superhero stuff. I'm always gonna, read Avengers and X-Men and some of the Batman stuff, and Spider-Man and things. The things that I love, that I grew up reading and I have a soft spot for.
Right.
But some of this stuff, the Dark Horse, Image, Ablaze, even that Black Tape was awesome. Behemoth, Sumerian, whatever they're calling themselves this week. Some of the stuff that those guys are doing is just amazingly fun. Yeah. And Boom's doing a lot of really good stuff too. You know, and it's I miss the fun sometimes, and when I read stuff like this, I get back into that fun. So then I have more energy to read the other stuff that has kind of been dragging me down with too much blah.
Yeah. I think that the kind of the downturn in the market is allowing the creators a little more freedom. They're taking kind of that shotgun approach. Let's throw everything at them. And,
they are.
And let's see. I made that. I was thinking about that when I was reading some books last night. The Star Trek stuff is getting really good. Like there's really good stories there because I think IDW is like, I don't know if we're going to have Star Trek 6 months from now. Let's
vomit these things out, man. Let's let them do what they want.
Let's give them a
could be the end of the road.
See what they can bring in.
So. Could be the end of the road. Let's take the speed limit signs down. Mad Cave is doing a lot of cool stuff too. They got Colin Bunn doing some things. Really, really cool stuff. Oh my God! You know what I read last night? I forgot that I had this, and it is important for only one reason. But Satan's 6, number 4. Remember the old Topps comic, the Kirby Satan's 6? Ditko did some stuff. Kirby did some stuff in those. It was like everybody went to Topps Comics and they were like, "Oh, okay, well, this is the new indie. Whatever. We got Zorro, we got this, we got that." And then nothing really panned out all that much. But Magnola went over there and did Dracula. But Satan's 6, number 4. It's only like 6 pages of it, but it's the first time Jason Voorhees was ever in a comic book.
Really?
And it was to promote Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, which was the final movie that they ever did with Jason Voorhees, right after the final chapter.
Yeah.
But, it was. They had like brought these, these demons, and the art was not good, but for some reason, the art on Jason was awesome. But the other stuff was like, and it was typical late 80s, early 90s, why not? Let's put this out. We'll get another number 1 and sell a whole bunch.
I love that 80s, 90s top stuff. I think that's some fun stuff.
And it wasn't a very good story. It wasn't, but it was like, for me, I just put it with all my Friday the 13th comics because I got all the Friday the 13th comics I've done, and I friggin' love them.
Nice.
And that's when they did Jason versus Leatherface.
All right. So I'm going to have to pick this one up. I want to give that one a read.
There you go. I got a copy right here.
Nice.
Let's go ahead and pay for that right up the counter when we're done.
So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think, your hopes for the future of DC and Marvel movies,
and your dreams for your own future.
There you go.
We want to know what you look forward to in life, and we want to make sure that we can do everything we can to make it. Oh, I'm getting really close. Anyway, just let us know. Just comment stuff.
This has been your personal minute with Greg.
Yes.
So
deep thoughts with Greg.
let us know your thoughts on the subject. And as always, if you want to suggest a subject, if there's something you want us to talk about that you want to get Greg's insight on, been around for 20 plus years doing this, leave us a comment.
Which is crazy because I'm only 33 years old.
That's insane.
I started when I was very young.
Very, very young.
Yeah.
That's when I started playing Dungeons and Dragons and eating pizza rolls.
Oh.
That was my thing.
Just in the crib.
Yeah.
No.
So make sure that you tune in Wednesdays where we come to you live here from Black Cat Comics and we run down the wall, show you all the new books that are out, try to thumb through all the variants so you know what's available for you.
If we have time to go through all the variants before they cut you off for lack of bandwidth.
And then every Thursday we do this. Everything's late, nobody dies.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see you next week. Join in the comments, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe,
and
ring the bell.
Tinky, tinky, tinky.
So you'll
Tinky,
be notified
tinky.
whenever a new show drops.
That's it.
All right, we'll see you later, traders.
Oh, they found a girl for us. Huh.